There is that unusual left-hand release by Pace.
And Edelin reaches in for the pilfer. Pace picks up the loose ball. 18-4 advantage. Bench scoring tonight for the Orange.
Nice distribution.
Anthony. Heinrich. Held off Pace. Turnovers the last 3 trips for the Jayhawks.
See what a labor it is for Collison just to get down the floor. He's so tired.
They do look very tired on this possession.
Yep.
Reach in McNamara.
McNamara, who really looked like he's going to break the all-time Final Four record in the first half, has not had a field goal, I don't think, in the second half. Picks up a cheap foul.
He has no scoring second half. Nick Collison, senior night, he talked about his hero, his grandfather, who lost about a year ago. Arden Collison was a tail gunner in World War II, and as always, Dick Enberg, with his eloquence on Saturday, told the story about his grandfather, the World War II hero.
This is unbelievable from the free throw line, but when you're tired, it can have an effect. Finally.
Collison for the night from the line. Really struggling. 3 for 10.
Is Kansas going to try to trap it? They are so tired. That is not going to be an effective weapon. A short bench, and now with Langford out, really hurts him. Oh!
Drive. Miles plucks it out of the air. Syracuse back. Heinrich, though, wants to drive. Reach in. Edelin. Scoop. Collison. Down the 9.
Jim Boeheim at 3:50 still has not tried to take any time off the clock.
Jim Boeheim can look up and see that score. That is the identical score by which he lost to Kentucky in his last final, and that is going to be a turnover.
Now, if you're McNamara, Jim, you want to keep the ball in your hands because you want to be fouled. You're the best free throw shooter in Big East history. You want to keep the ball yourself.
Kansas has it when we return. Kansas, if it is fatigue, does have 4 timeouts. Billy, do you feel like they have enough legs here to mount the comeback in the final 4 minutes?
I really don't, particularly with Langford out in foul trouble. And what you're going to find, I think, is that Jim Boeheim, with that timeout, will say, let's take some time off the clock. We'll see a guy that wants a lot of time to go off the clock, Ronnie Cycli, who played in this Final Four. He and Derek Coleman and company came away with that key smart shot on the losing end.
Heartbreaking loss, and Coach Boeheim wanted as many of the players possible from that '87 team to be here tonight to try to be a part of this if it is in fact the championship night. Heinrich launching 3. Huge.
Great job right there on the penetration and kick out.
76-70.
Carmelo Anthony saw what was going to happen to him, but he was suckered inside on the penetration.
Heinrich's first basket since turning the ankle. Wide open for it. Oh, Collison, be careful.
He has to be very careful. That could have been an intentional foul. A great pass inside and a look. This is just a great play inside by Warrick. Fourth makes the catch, and that is his 3rd basket of the night. Jim, after going in this particular tournament 5 games without a field goal.
Dips it down and out for the 3-point play. 3 minutes left.
So you can see what Kansas' strategy. They're going to half-court zone trap.
A hold outside. That was called from underneath the basket.
That was Fourth who got called on the foul. Graves really banging inside.
Thursday on CBS. Whole new stream for those left, and an all-new Survivor Thursday at 8, 7 Central on CBS, America's most watched network.
Jim, I think good strategy for Roy Williams the rest of the way. He's got plenty of timeouts to give. I think he almost wants to say, okay, I'm going to use them all up here and use them to rest my players as opposed to strategy. Just let them go over there, sit down, and relax. Try to get whatever legs they have left into them. And if you're Syracuse, you want the ball into the great free throw shooter's hands. McNamara has got to want it and hold on to it till he gets fouled.
Graves at the line tonight, 0 for 3. Solid with that one.
He's had a solid performance, Jim. Very impressed with what this young man has done.
I like what you said earlier. He's been like an all-conference performer during the NCAAs, like a quiet MVP for this team. Tipped around, taken by Anthony.
Another miss, and you can see Anthony grimacing any time he gets in any action at all. This young man really having to gut it out.
Edelin handled so much of the ball this half. That's going the other way.
Yeah, McNamara has not touching the ball, Jim, and I think that's a big mistake for Syracuse.
2:40 on the clock. Heinrich left alone inside. Collison whipped it down to the corner.
How about that heads-up play by the two seniors? And this helps. Roy Williams gets a timeout.
That timeout called by Kansas. You want to see the ball in the hands of McNamara for Syracuse.
Absolutely. You want to get the ball to the great free throw shooter. He's also a good ball handler. I realize he hasn't scored in the second half. But if you're Syracuse, let him touch it. He's being guarded by Heinrich.
Back to Anthony. They all back off.
Well, this is a pretty good matchup, too, because Anthony is a superior ball handler. Collison not used to playing a guy this far from the basket. Collison trying to get a 5-second call.
Yeah, he looks over to the official as a reminder. Now a double up to the corner. McNamara. Baseline shut off. Pace stepping in. 7 on the shot clock as we approach 2 minutes. Edelin up and in.
That was a huge play because Kansas had the clock in their favor.
Big possession for Syracuse. Inside Collison.
It was Collison to Heinrich, and now Heinrich to Collison.
Yes, they return to favor.
Like they haven't played together for 4 years.
Another quick timeout. These seniors not letting go of the dream. Kansas commits a foul here in a non-shooting situation. It'll be 1-1. McNamara almost automatic at the line.
But he hasn't touched the ball. He's not aggressively going for the ball.
He breaks long pace in the corner. And again, Anthony will bring it up. An 11-4 run here by Kansas to keep hope alive.
Trying to trap, get that ball out of Anthony's hands.
Pace in and out, and Graves secures it. Heinrich almost launched it inside open.
That was Pace again, getting his hands on the ball. You talk about a huge play off the bench. See, McNamara gives up the ball all the time. I don't know why.
That possession could have made it a one-possession game. Pace, too strong. Warrick, and it's Heinrich. Now Collison with the rebound.
Heinrich was open on the side. Lee got it.
Down to 3. 1 minute on the clock.
And you know what? Now Syracuse looks tired. What a gut performance by Kansas.
I don't know if it's tired or dazed because they know Kansas is coming at them. Well, the season started. The first college game of the season was November 14th. Syracuse was in that game. And now the whole season comes down to a minute. Julie Boeheim. Jim Boeheim.
Jim, it's been a matchup. Collison on Carmelo Anthony, which has allowed Syracuse to get the ball up the floor because Anthony can dribble it very well against him. Let's see what Collison does. He picks up a quick foul.
That'll be 1-1 at the other end. Now, the other day, everything went for Carmelo Anthony. 33 points, 14 rebounds. When you look at this sensational freshman season, about the only thing that didn't go well for him, free throw shooting in the last minute. Looked it up, and he's 8 out of 14 in the last minute of the game.
Jim, we have had 2 freshmen become the MOP of the Final Four. We'll never forget Louisville, Purvis Ellison. And the man before that,
Arnie Ferrin.
In 1944, so not many people get there. This young guy certainly is a candidate, but he misses.
Front into the 1-1. A 3 to tie. No need to go there now, I guess.
You can go for 2, get that ball down inside, let Collison touch it. There he is.
Step to the basket, kick back outside. Miles for the 3. Front of the rim, tipped up. Oh, Graves gets it back. And he'll head back to the line. He went for the dunk follow instead of the securing it first.
But I'm going to give him a lot of credit for battling on the inside. You see that ball up on the rim. Here comes Graves. If that ball had gone in, Jim, that would have been goaltending. So he was kind of lucky, maybe, that it didn't.
2 for Graves.
It's been a nightmare for Roy Williams. He didn't want to even look at this free throw.
It looked pretty good if he was watching. And this is the closest they have been in the second half. Down to 2, timeout, Syracuse.
That picture shows it all.
To recap, Kansas was down 18 at one time in the first half, 11 at the intermission, cut it on 4 occasions to 3. Then it swelled back to 12. Now it's 2, and it can even get 1 closer.
Jim, considering these two coaches, this is going to be one of the most gut-wrenching finishes in tournament history.
Pulled away by Anthony.
And here, finally, McNamara with the ball.
Heinrich giving chase.
Picked up his dribble.
They just barely got it across, and timeout by Anthony. I mean, with about a second left, maybe not even.
Timeout, Syracuse.
With that sore back, it's a wonder he made the catch.
Timeout, Orangeman. Gymnast Billy Packer. 4-second differential game clock. It's a shot clock. Billy, if you're Kansas, how long do you let it go down?
Oh, I think you go play tough defense right now. No, you can't let it go down to the 4-second mark, but I think Roy Williams has used those timeouts beautifully here to rest his basketball team. If Carmelo Anthony had the good back, I don't think there'd be any problem getting the ball right to him.
Oh, Graves hits the floor. Warrick and Delaney will be the man to the line. Double bonus. He'll shoot 2. And again, Anthony slow to get up.
This young man has been battered tonight, and there's no question in my mind that he's nowhere near 100%. Otherwise, they'd be putting the ball in his hands and just let him control this one.
That is on Collison, and that is it for Nick.
So now you have Langford, Collison, the #1 scorer, Langford, the #3 scorer, both out of this game.
19 points, 21 rebounds, and the close to a spectacular career.
Jim, what Kansas could have done, not going backwards here, is start playing offense and defense a little bit to save Collison, but too late for that now.
68% shooter, heads to the line to shoot 2. Delaney.
But they're 21-1 when he has double figures, and he has double figures. Amazing what free throw shooting could have done for either one of these clubs.
Particularly Kansas in the second half.
This is huge, Jim, because you can force Kansas to start thinking 3.
Kansas second half, 4 out of 17 from the line.
Unbelievable.
Delaney, 1 more with 24 seconds. 3-point game. What do you do now?
I think you can still go for 2. You got enough time, but they got to get it up in a hurry. And if they don't, then they're going to have to go for 3.
Heinrich can tie it with the long one, rattles out. Warrick with the rebound, and he'll head to the other end for 2. Oh, Heinrich thought he had made it.
I thought that was a pretty good job by Heinrich to take that shot. Roy Williams did as well. He wants his guys back down court. You're talking about the best career 3-point shooting player that Kansas has ever had. I thought it was a good percentage shot for him.
Look at this for the tie. Back rim, front rim, and out. And now it's Warrick's turn to shoot 2, 67%.
These foul shots are not only being missed by both teams, they're looking ugly. We've seen some bad misses. And there goes the #1 free throw shooter in the Big East down to the bench.
Pace comes in for McNamara.
Jim Boeheim wanting more size on the defensive end.
Syracuse. Oh, and out. A 3 can tie it. Kansas has a shot. Miles to the right side. Heinrich to the top of the key. Heinrich with 4 seconds. Gives it up corner. Lee shot blocked. They have less than a second to go.
It's not how tall, it's how long, and Warrick got a piece of that. It's actually showing no time on the clock, but 7/10 of a second on the shot clock.
So there's 7/10 on the game clock. And Heinrich, I thought he would launch it. Lee instead.
7/10 of a second. I really thought Heinrich probably should have taken it, but you know, Lee's the best shooter they have percentage-wise, but it's just the fact that Warrick, with those long arms, was able to pick it off.
They're going to review now to see if there's a need to add any tenths to the clock. Check it out.
Lee got exactly the shot. If you're Kansas, you'd like him to take, but look at Warrick with those long arms.
At what point do you say it crossed out? Well, they've got to add some time here.
Yeah, I think so, Jim. I would say 1.1. Would you go that far?
I maybe even go a little bit more than that. So who will take the biggest three at the Superdome since Adam Vinatieri kicked the winning field goal here 14 months ago in the Super Bowl for the Patriots? Kansas 4 out of 19. Yes, they did in fact go north of that. 1.5. 4 out of 19 for the night. Can they find a way to get it in the hands of Heinrich?
Well, obviously, you know it's got to be a 3. No sense going for 2. And if you're Syracuse, you go ahead and don't worry about anybody underneath the basket. Let it go there. But Heinrich and Lee are the 2 guys.
Heinrich starts inside, goes outside. Heinrich gets it. Heinrich puts up the shot. It's too long, and Syracuse is your national champion.
Has New Orleans given us Final Fours or not?